Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Renren Junkyard, found fake death Medusa at the beginning. The blue star of the future will become the field of the heavens. After reaching the age of 18, everyone will randomly awaken a collection of abandoned fields from the heavens. There are remnants of pills, soup, remains, ancient corpses, incomplete martial arts, and even immortal weapons and artifacts from the immortal realm, all in the pile when Chen Fan, who had traveled through time, first entered the *** venue. He unexpectedly found Medusa's body. No, this corpse is warm, with body temperature and a faint heartbeat. Ding, congratulations to the host. Awakening and turning waste into treasure system. At this moment, a hint sounded in Chen Fan's mind. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Listing commitment letter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Pen name, am listed as 888, and I guarantee that this signed work belongs to my own original work. I will strictly follow the Feilu Writers' Convention during the creative process, adhere to originality, and eliminate the following violations. If there are any violations, I am willing to bear all the consequences caused by them. 1. Ensure that the signed work belongs to one's own original work and does not involve plagiarism or plot plagiarism in Chinese translation. 2. Ensure that no third-party works or plot are plagiarized in the work. 3. Ensure that this work is first published and the only contracted website on Feilu Novel Network. 3. Ensure compliance with laws and regulations during the creative process, including but not limited to, violations such as not involving politics, not involving pornography, gambling, and drugs, not promoting cults, not ghostwriting, not blocking or abolishing manuscripts, not hosting, not selling works, and not using accounts for. Ensure that no matter how many numbers the work has, the plot must be completed, never unfinished, and never stopped. Feilu's novel, Fei wants you to look good. Chapter 1. Medusa in the garbage dump. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I'm finally 18 years old. My garbage dump should be opened now. It was already midnight, and Chen Fan had no drowsiness at all. Because it's almost time for him to turn 18 on time. In this era, 18 years old means adulthood. The coming of age ceremony is very special. At that time, our own garbage dump will be opened on time. Yes, in this world, in this era, everyone is a garbage dump owner. However, these so-called garbage are only relative to the heavens. For humans in this world, there are too many treasures hidden in garbage. The remnants of the immortal world, the leftover dragon liver and phoenix gallbladder from eating, the remnants of various high-level alchemy failures, and the residue of pills are already treasures that defy heaven for ordinary people. Even the remains of monsters, immortal bones, and so on are treasures of every landfill owner. Sometimes any broken sword can cut iron like mud, and any old and worn-out ancient book contains cultivation techniques. 100 years ago, with a loud bang, everyone in this world found themselves surrounded by a garbage dump space. From then on, the world entered the era of Taobao. In 100 years, the old order has been replaced by the new order. In this world, there are many immortals, many powerful beings who can fly to heaven and earth, and conquer mountains and seas. Everyone, before the age of 18, basically attends classes at various universities. Of course, what we are learning is no longer mathematics, physics, and chemistry, but various characters, as well as various treasure knowledge. In 100 years, humans have solved many puzzles with words and characters. It can also be inferred that all garbage actually comes from different worlds. Of course, many systematic cultivation methods have also emerged. However, almost everyone has chosen the most powerful system. There are 110 levels of mortal realm, 70.2 levels of extraordinary realm, 30.6 levels of divine realm, and 9 levels of immortal realm. The corresponding ones are 108 Zhou Tian, 72 Di Sha, 36 Tian Gang, and 9 are extreme numbers. In the mortal realm, 108 orifices need to be opened, in the extraordinary realm, 70.2 dragon veins need to be refined, in the divine realm, 30.6 layers of caves need to be opened, and in the immortal realm, 9 layers of immortal platforms need to be built. Of course, this is the most perfect and powerful number of days, but not everyone can achieve such perfection. This practice is engraved in every garbage dump. After awakening the garbage dump, everyone will obtain this set of techniques. So now it's not a secret anymore. Chen Fan, who has just turned 18 years old, has already opened 18 orifices, which are the 18 layers of the mortal realm. He can also be considered a cultivation genius. Of course, compared to those monsters who are naturally able to open their orifices, Chen is always incomparable. As humans continue to grow stronger, the talent of newborns becomes increasingly abnormal. Bang! Chen Fan, who was patiently waiting, suddenly heard a loud noise in the dark. At the same time, his eyebrows flickered with a golden light, which turned into a mark, like a crack. Quickly, the trembling sound disappeared, and the mark on the forehead slowly faded away. Finally opened. Chen Fan smiled slightly, and through his eyebrows, he sensed some kind of connection. He knew that it was his medium to his own garbage dump. Then let me see if there are any good treasures in my garbage dump. Chen Fan was very excited, took a deep breath, closed his eyes, established contact, and the next moment his figure disappeared into the room. When he reappeared, Chen Fan found himself in a strange place. The space is about 10 miles away, incredibly desolate, somewhat dim, and slightly damp. The imagined stench of the garbage dump did not appear, but instead carried a strange fragrance. There is no garbage dump either. Here, as if it were his domain, a place 10 miles away could be clearly sensed. The most basic cultivation techniques flicker in the air, being passed down. Is it an ancient corpse? Opening his eyes, Chen Fan saw a corpse in the empty field. It seems to be a woman. Chen Fan quickly ran over. In an instant, he was stunned and his eyes were somewhat mesmerized. The woman lay, dressed in a graceful purple brocade robe, exceptionally noble, unable to conceal her perfect and ultimate curves. A head of 3,000 green silk, casually scattered on the ground. If she stood straight, she would probably be able to stand vertically between the slender willow waist. Even more exaggerated is that under the woman's brocade robe, a purple snake tail is exposed. Snake demon. Medusa. Chen Fan was stunned, then looked at the woman's face, which was so beautiful that it almost reached the extreme of being enchanting. On his head, he actually wore a metal crown, and above the crown, it seemed like 9 snakes were standing up. Queen Medusa. Chen Fan murmured and slightly regained his senses. Unfortunately. Chen Fan couldn't help but sigh, a corpse made him feel a kind of charm. I hope you have some treasures on you. For the first time in life, I found a corpse on Taobao, which made Chen Fan feel somewhat unlucky. So he crouched down and began to search, hoping to find treasure on her. This woman is clearly immensely esteemed. There should be plenty of treasures. Warm. Not dead. When the palm touched the woman, Chen Fan exclaimed in surprise. Subsequently, his palm was placed on Medusa's heart, wanting to confirm. There's a heartbeat. Although weak, I really didn't die. I'll go. The garbage dump is picking up live people, I think it's unprecedented. Feeling Medusa's heartbeat, Chen Fan couldn't help but be happy. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward. Chapter 2. Transforming Waste into Treasure Series, Anti-Heaven Gift Pack. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You have to thank me for not dying in a disaster. Taking a deep breath, Chen Fan calmed down. Feeling the entire garbage dump again, there were no more treasures. Chen Fan picked up Medusa and reconnected with the imprint. The two disappeared directly into the garbage dump. This place is not suitable for living beings to reside for a long time. Even Chen Fan cannot stay for too long, otherwise he will feel uncomfortable. So, as the owner of the garbage dump, I only go to Taobao when the garbage appears. Every time garbage falls, it makes a noise. There is no fixed time, and the number and type of each fall are not fixed. Not every day. So, many times, what can be found is all about luck. Ha! Appearing in his own room, Chen Fan placed Medusa on his bed and exhaled heavily. It's not that Medusa weighs too much, but the aroma is too smoky. Ding! Congratulations to the host, the turning waste into treasure system has officially awakened. Very abrupt, a mysterious reminder came from Chen Fan's mind. System. Gold finger. The corners of Chen Fan's mouth instantly widened. As a traveler, he is too familiar with the routines of a traveler. Ding! Congratulations to the host. The system has completed binding and is officially serving you. The prompt sound came again. System, please let me know your features. Chen Fan finally calmed down his excitement and asked. The system of turning waste into treasure has 4 main functions. Repair, fusion, upgrade, and recycling. Repair mainly involves repairing damaged objects, treasures, and even creatures to achieve their original state before being damaged. Fusion is mainly the fusion of damaged treasures, even living creatures, into other treasures. Upgrading is the process of upgrading the level of undamaged treasures and even creatures. However, whether it's repair, fusion, or upgrade, points are required. As for how to earn points, it involves the last function. Recycling. Transforming waste into treasure system, recycling items deemed valuable, and then giving corresponding points to Chen Fan. What an incredible system. Chen Fan couldn't help but murmur. Recycling, repairing, merging, upgrading, and these 4 functions of the system complement each other, which is really abnormal. Especially in this world, in this era. As long as there are enough points, Chen Fan can completely restore all the garbage from the heavens to its original state. Even merging into different treasures, and even upgrading the treasures. It's like all the treasures of the heavens, for my use. The more imaginative it is, the more excited Chen Fan's heart becomes. As for points. In this era, there shouldn't be a shortage, right? There are always many valuable treasures in the garbage dump. Incomplete treasures also have value. Ding! As a form of gift package distribution for beginners, the host receives a free opportunity to repair, merge, and upgrade. Ding! It is recommended that the host perform a self-repair. Ding! It is recommended that the host temporarily leave the opportunity for fusion. Ding! It has been detected that the host's main cultivation technique is very powerful. We strongly recommend that the host upgrade the technique. The system's prompt sound is coming. Okay. Chen Fan did not hesitate and chose the system's suggestion. Buzz. In the next moment, Chen Fan felt surrounded by a warm current, soaking and baptizing himself, feeling incredibly comfortable. My own hidden illnesses and wounds are slowly disappearing. Chen Fan feels like he's reshaping his body. I don't know how long it took, but Chen Fan felt relaxed all over, flawless, with his skin turning white and red. At this moment, I feel like I'm going back to the time when I was just born. My talent are no different from the natural opening of the 16 orifices. Chen Fan sighed endlessly. At this moment, he felt his talent, unprecedented. Buzz. In the next moment, countless pieces of information flooded into his sea of consciousness. After a long time, Chen Fan's body was trembling. Because of shock and disbelief. The upgraded technique is also too crazy. It's too incredible. Chen Fan only dared to secretly rejoice in his heart, seeming afraid to speak out, afraid that the walls would have ears. The upgraded techniques seemed to have little difference. However, from then on, every time Chen Fan opened an acupoint, he could separate his consciousness and move into the acupoint, using it as the elixir field to cultivate another part, and even another system of martial arts. That is to say, as long as Chen Fan can distinguish 16 strands of consciousness, he can cultivate 16 additional techniques. And all the benefits of the cultivation of consciousness come from its essence. Absolute, truly invincible. Chen Fan really didn't expect that the system would go against the sky to this extent. At this moment, a faint voice rang out. Medusa opened her eyes, struggled to sit up, and found herself completely in a strange room. In front of her was a strange human, instantly becoming extremely alert. Don't be nervous, if you really want to do something bad to you, you would have done it long ago when you were unconscious. Chen Fan spoke calmly. He has checked and found that Medusa is not only seriously injured, but also severely weakened in strength. If there were enough points, Chen Fan would definitely be willing to repair it for her. Because according to the system rules, any treasures or creatures repaired by the system belong to him. So, he is not worried that the Medusa will backflow after being repaired. Feilu's novel, Fei Wants You to Look Good. Chapter 3. For Joys at the Gate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Where is this? Upon hearing Chen Fan's words, Medusa breathed a slight sigh of relief. Indeed, if this young human race really wanted to be detrimental to her, it would have been done long ago. It was this human who saved her. However, out of disgust towards the human race, it was difficult for her to feel grateful. However, she also doesn't want to owe any favors to the human race. My home. Chen Fan spoke softly. I know, but I want to know, where is this? Medusa's brow furrowed slightly. Say a fact that you cannot accept. This is no longer the world you are in. This is Blue Star, Qin Xia Empire. After pondering for a moment, Chen Fan spoke up. Blue Star. Qin Xia. Impossible. Medusa furrowed her brows even tighter, she was too unfamiliar with what Chen Fan had said. Your strength should be stronger than mine, so you can feel it yourself and see if my breath is the same as yours. After thinking for a moment, Chen Fan reminded. You are a practitioner. But you don't have any fighting spirit on you. Sure enough, after sensing it, Medusa came to an astonishing conclusion. Coupled with her earlier perception, she found that the surrounding environment was completely different from her cognition. She knew that this young man had not deceived her. How could it be like this? I just failed to refine the strange fire. Medusa finds it difficult to accept such a fact. As a strong person, where is not home? Take it as it comes. Chen Fan can only comfort like this. It's easy to say, my tribe. What should we do? Medusa felt a bit lost. As long as your deterrent power is sufficient, you are just missing. Before seeing your body, no one should dare to act recklessly, right? After you become stronger, why don't you find a way to go back? Chen Fan roughly guessed Medusa's identity and comforted her with a smile. Sure enough, all the garbage comes from the heavens. Even some of the heavens may be familiar to the mortal world. Even 100 years ago, the development of this world was different from the blue star where Chen Fan was located. Thinking of this, Chen Fan couldn't help but feel a little excited. Can you go back? Medusa's eyes were instantly filled with hope. I don't know either, after all, you are the only living creature I know who has come to our world alive. And there's nothing that can't be done, it's just that you're not strong enough. Chen Fan shook his head and also gave her hope. The only living creature. What do you mean? There are still many creatures in this world who have come. Medusa caught the key point. No living creatures have come, it's their bodies. When I saw you, I thought you were a corpse for a while. Fortunately, I felt your body temperature and saved you. Chen Fan's tone was somewhat helpless, as if he had really put in a lot of effort to save her. Thank you. Medusa realized that she had not yet thanked the person who saved her life. As a noble and aloof queen, after feeling the kindness of Chen Fan, she also slightly let go of her figure. At the same time, although she doesn't quite understand the human race in another world, she also lacks some prejudice. No need to thank you. Next, you can rest assured and recuperate. Chen Fan smiled, but inwardly thought to himself, trying to repair Medusa before she could recover herself, and at the same time, bind her to become his. Then, I'll trouble you. After some thought, Medusa did not refuse. After all, she is in an absolutely unfamiliar world and doesn't know anything. Having a place to stand is really important. Especially before one's injuries and strength recover. At least, this young person who sheltered her has a kind heart. You are welcome. Chen Fan shook his head. What kind of world is this? Medusa is full of curiosity. A magical world. You can gradually understand in the future. At present, you should take good care of yourself. Speaking, Chen Fan walked out of the room and closed the door. The magical world. Medusa murmured, her eyes filled with curiosity, and then her purple snake tail slowly coiled up, as if entering a state of cultivation. How many points do I need to repair Medusa's injury in the system? Chen Fan asked. Her level is not very high. If she were to completely repair it, she would need 5,000 points. If it's just repairing the injury, it only requires 1,000 points. The system replied. So many. Chen Fan frowned slightly. 5,000 is not much. He doesn't have any points now. Generally speaking, repairing creatures requires a lot of points. Moreover, her bloodline is not weak, and most importantly, she carries a lot of luck. 5,000 points, not too much. The system patiently explained to Chen Fan. Roaming and rumbling. At this moment, Chen Fan felt a noise coming from his garbage dump, which was clearly the sound of garbage falling. The second wave of garbage has arrived. The interval is so short. Today is really my lucky day. Chen Fan is incredibly happy. On the day of adulthood, the garbage dump was opened, and a beautiful woman was found. The system awakened, and the second wave of garbage treasures arrived. This is simply 4 joys at the door. Feilu's novel, Fei wants you to look good. Chapter 4. Garbage dumps. This is an incredible treasure trove. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Buzz. Contacting the imprint on the forehead, Chen Fan disappeared and reappeared in the garbage dump. The scene before him left him somewhat stunned. Amidst the rolling smoke and dust, Chen Fan vaguely saw a completely collapsed house. It shouldn't be a house that has been in disrepair for a long time, it has fallen into my garbage dump. Chen Fan's eyes were filled with anticipation. Before the smoke and dust could dissipate, Chen Fan rushed directly into the ruins of the house. Holding one of the pieces of wood, he pulled it out directly. Wood is about 10 meters long, incredibly heavy, no less than refined steel. If it weren't for Chen Fan having already opened 16 orifices, he really wouldn't be able to hold them. On the wood, there is a scent of time emanating, but there is no decay. It should be the top beam and column of the house. Apart from this one, there are several more. System, is this wood valuable? Are you willing to recycle it? Chen Fan asked with anticipation. After all, this wood is definitely not ordinary wood. The wood of the iron branch is worth 50 points each. The system responded very happily. Following closely, the wood in his hand disappeared out of thin air. Obviously, it was directly recycled. Okay. Upon hearing that it could be recycled, Chen Fan's heart was filled with joy and his body was full of energy. He quickly pulled out all 7 remaining ones. 8 in total, earn 400 points. You should know that although these woods are not ordinary wood, if they are useful, they are really useless to Chen Fan. Want to sell it? Who would be bored buying a piece of wood? It's not in the old era. Ding, the host can check their own points. After recycling 8 pieces of wood, the system reminded Chen Fan and actively displayed an interface to him. However, there is only a display of points on the interface, and there is no further information. This point is for free. Chen Fan is very happy. The system of turning waste into treasure really lives up to its name. Dust Fan, whose body was full of energy, began to continue digging up the ruins. Not long after, he dug out a jade bottle. Daniel. Holding the jade bottle, Chen Fan's heart was filled with anticipation. Gently opening the bottle cap, a refreshing fragrance instantly fills the air. That was Dan Qi, all rushing towards Chen Fan's nose and being absorbed by him. For a moment, Chen Fan felt his blood boiling and his martial arts began to run autonomously. Click. Under the influence of Dan Qi, Chen Fan's body emitted a strange sound, and the 17th orifice unexpectedly opened autonomously. The aura of the mortal world suddenly became stronger. Click. Following closely, the 18th orifice opened again autonomously. What kind of anti-heaven pill is this? Just the Dan Qi allowed me to break through continuously, opening 2 orifices in one breath. After the breath stabilized, Chen Fan was deeply shocked. It is a spiritual pill that aims to enhance cultivators' cultivation. In addition, the host does not absorb the elixir, but rather the elixir essence left after the digestion of the elixir. The reason why the host can break through 2 layers is because the host's body has completed a repair, greatly increasing its qualifications. Otherwise, the host can only open up to 1 acupoint when absorbing elixirs. The system explains. Dan Jing. Chen Fan shook the jade bottle and found it empty, with no pills left. He couldn't help but feel extremely disappointed. It has been too long, and the pill has completely disappeared without any residue left. However, he felt that the system was just versatile and seemed to understand everything. For a moment, he felt like he had wasted a lot of time learning about treasure appreciation over the years. Do you accept the jade bottle? Chen Fan asked. 50 points. As soon as the system answered, the jade bottle in Chen Fan's hand disappeared out of thin air. 50 points were added to the account, and Chen Fan searched even harder. Rotten wood and weathered stones were piled up by Chen Fan into another pile. These are real garbage, and the system naturally won't recycle them. Bang clang. Finally, Chen Fan dug out a box from the ruins. The material of the box is obviously not ordinary, but it has already decayed and become unbearable. System, does this box still have value? Chen Fan asked. It's a weapon made of divine iron, but the essence has completely disappeared, and the array text has completely disappeared, so it has no recycling value. The system replied. Okay. Chen Fan was somewhat disappointed and then opened the box. Click. With a little force, the box broke and really decayed too severely. However, upon seeing what was inside, Chen Fan's eyes lit up slightly. There are 3 things in the box, all in good condition. A jade pendant, an animal skin ancient book, and a short blade that looks like a knife but not a knife, like a dagger but not a dagger. Ding, congratulations to the host for discovering 3 super valuable treasures. However, it is recommended that the host bookmark it themselves. The system's prompt sound is coming. What treasure is this? Chen Fan asked. Ding, the system has detected that the jade pendant is a form of inheritance, ancient books are a treasure map, and the short blade is a phoenix bone blade. It is not only an ancient artifact, but also a marriage token. The system explained. Can all of this be detected? Chen Fan was deeply shocked, and then his heart was replaced by surprise. What is Taobao? This is the real Taobao. Inheritance. Treasure map. An ancient artifact or a marriage token. However, it seems that not all the so-called garbage is artificially discarded by the heavens. Chen Fan came to an extremely astonishing conclusion. Feilu's novel, Fei Wants You to Look Good. Chapter 5. Immortal Immortal Corpse. It can also be repaired. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Taking a deep breath, Chen Fan carried the jade pendant and treasure map into his arms. When he held the phoenix bone blade in his palm, he only felt a chill. There is no discomfort. Is it an ancient artifact that an ordinary person can easily grasp? Chen Fan had some doubts. This ancient artifact was very sharp and cold, and he felt that it was absolutely like cutting iron like mud. It has already been sealed. Otherwise, its leaked breath would be enough to instantly wipe out an ordinary person. The system explains. It's so scary. Chen Fan's eyes flickered with anticipation. This is definitely a super immortal weapon. It shouldn't be made from the bones of a phoenix. Then, carefully place it around your waist. System, you asked me to leave the jade pendant and ancient artifacts, I can understand. But what's the use of keeping a treasure map? Chen Fan asked, who knows which world this treasure map comes from? How to find it? However, the system did not answer him this time. Are there any secrets involved? However, Chen Fan did not continue to inquire. Not long after, Chen Fan pulled out a beast skin scroll from the ruins, but it was already in a state of disrepair. It is estimated that the records above are either combat skills or martial arts. Chen Fan found that the damage was too severe, and repairing it would definitely consume a lot of points. Now, what he lacks the most is integration. So I chose to have the system recycle, and surprisingly earned 100 points. In a short period of time, Chen Fan earned 550 points. With such a defengshu, salad of assorted fresh vegetables, Chen Fan worked harder to dig. Not long after, Chen Fan excavated a severely damaged divine weapon. Crafted from divine iron. Although it was severely damaged, there was still some spirit and energy that allowed the system to recover, and Chen Fan earned a small profit of 150 points. With continuous excavation, Chen Fan dug out one broken weapon after another, 3 jade bottles however, the pills inside these 4 jade bottles seemed to be not as advanced, leaving behind completely weathered pill residues without any essence. I earned another 350 points in total. From then on, Chen Fan earned a total of 1,050 points. The current points are enough to recover Medusa's injury. As for her cultivation, just let her recover on her own. Chen Fan thought to himself. Medusa has an extraordinary identity and her strength is definitely far superior to him. Chen Fan felt that he needed to bind it in the name of therapy at the moment. Otherwise, once she recovers, it will be difficult for her to have the opportunity to be subdued. Putting aside beauty, Medusa is a powerful presence and a great assistant. Although in this era, everyone has their own garbage dump and tuball land. However, people's hearts are often lacking. Murders and treasure grabs often occur. Various forces are intricate and complex. Some powerful forces secretly do not know how much population they control. After all, mastering one person means mastering an additional resource. Of course, such things can only be carried out by powerful forces in secret. After all, the new order is still being operated and maintained by the state. In addition to personal tobogg garbage dumps, there are occasional giant garbage dumps that are unowned. Anyone whose mark can be sensed can rush over as soon as possible. Often at this time, they will fight to the death. Especially when treasures appear. Finally, there aren't many ruins left. Chen Fan flipped open a wooden board that appeared, although he was stunned. Ancient corpses. I can't be wrong this time. Under the wooden board, there was a corpse sitting cross. A woman with tightly closed eyes, devoid of any vitality. To Chen Fan's surprise, the ancient corpse was clearly in ruins and beneath decaying wooden boards, yet spotless. More like a statue, crystal clear. This is a woman, with no trace of time. Wearing a white Taoist robe, surprisingly, it doesn't provoke dust. The ancient corpse is very beautiful, the ultimate beauty, even incredibly transcendent. Immortal, at least a fairy corpse. Unfortunately, in endless years, all the vitality and power on her body have disappeared. The system is reminding. Not disappearing. I'm going to be shocked to death. Chen Fan finally regained his senses and slowly spoke up. Looking at the immortal corpse, do you have any treasures? Unfortunately, there was none. Even above her hair, there were no decorations. 3,000 green threads, just hanging down like this. So pure-hearted with few desires. I didn't bring anything with me outside of my body. Chen Fan is somewhat unwilling. System, recycle it. Chen Fan asked. It can be recycled, but its value is not high. But don't the host plan to fix it? The system prompts. Isn't she already dead? The system's inquiry made Chen Fan's body tremble suddenly. Is the system so omnipotent? As long as there are enough points. The system's answer was incredibly calm. It seems like it is omnipotent, as long as the integration is sufficient. How many points do I need? Chen Fan's voice was a bit hoarse, he was a fairy. Repair is equivalent to resurrection. For the current host, it is an astronomical number. However, repairing an immortal is relatively more cost-effective than cultivating one. The system prompts. Then keep it for now. Taking a deep breath, Chen Fan finally awakened. The tone of the system gave him ambition, and he must build a fairy-level power in the future. The garbage resources from the heavens are his confidence. Seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking ticket support. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward. Chapter 6. Accepting inheritance and boosting combat power. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The immortal corpse was moved to an open space, and Chen Fan continued to excavate the ruins. The last pile of ruins is now almost gone. However, it allowed Chen Fan to unearth several discarded treasures, and after systematic recycling, Chen Fan earned 500 points again. By calculation, I already have 1550 points. Click. When cleaning up the final soil residue, Chen Fan dug up a hard piece, emitting a cold texture. Token. Taking out what he touched, Chen Fan discovered that it was a token. It seems to be made of some kind of black iron mixed together, with an incredibly heavy texture. On one side of the token, there are characters engraved one by one. Coincidentally, Chen Fan learned this character when he was in school. He knows that this character represents the character, Tian. Congratulations host, this is an ancient token. It is also a magic tool, and once the host's strength reaches a certain level, it can be used to drip blood to identify the master. During battles, one can offer sacrifices and suppress strong enemies. Of course, the host can also choose to have the system recycle and redeem a lot of points. A detailed introduction to the system. I won't exchange it for now. Who knows how many times this kind of opportunity can happen. This is an ancient artifact. If you want to earn points, just find a way to earn more. Anyway, there's nothing urgent to fix right now. After thinking about it, Chen Fan made a choice. Subsequently, we continued to dig through the final ruins and no longer gained anything. This time, it's really a big chance. The demons of the heavens develop a secret realm. I'm afraid I won't have gained anything from this one. Chen Fan is satisfied with his heart. Taking a sigh of relief, Chen Fan picked up the immortal corpse and left his garbage dump. Immortal corpses must not be placed here because, before the next garbage arrives, the garbage thrown this time will be completely cleared by mysterious forces. The immortal corpse stays here, and if you come in again next time, it's probably gone. The garbage dump is really amazing. After Taobao, the garbage cleared by mysterious forces seems to have transformed into the energy to build a garbage dump, making the size of the dump even more vast. So, as the frequency of trove increases, the garbage dump becomes even more extensive. Buzz. Appearing in the living room, looking at the immortal corpse in his arms, Chen Fan thought for a moment and placed it in a separate room. If only I could find a storage treasure. Everything can be put inside now. Chen Fan thought to himself. The storage tool is the most anticipated treasure for every trove user. Because many times, the storage tool still preserves complete treasures. Storage tools are often the most popular and sought-after items at auctions. Inheritance. After placing the immortal corpse, Chen Fan took out the jade pendant, full of anticipation. Inheritance, I can also continue to use the main body for cultivation. But let me use an acupoint to receive the inheritance. For the supreme cultivation, Chen Fan is full of endless expectations. Subsequently, Chen Fan sat cross-legged on the ground, closed his eyes, and operated according to the upgraded technique, beginning to distinguish between consciousness or will. Time is passing by, and I don't know how long it has been. Finally, Chen Fan has developed a strand of will. That will, as if it were a transparent mortal, burrowed into the first orifice he had opened. Let's get started. Taking a deep breath, Chen Fan punctured his finger and dripped a drop of blood onto the jade pendant. Click. The jade pendant cracked open, and a white light escaped into Chen Fan's eyebrows. In the next moment, the immensely vast information is being absorbed and interpreted by Chen Fan. Haoyue Tiangong. I don't know how long it took, but Chen Fan's main martial arts began to operate. At the same time, the newly inherited Haoyue Tiangong also began to operate independently. However, the route of Haoyue Tiangong's movement is not centered around Chen Fan's dantian, but around the first orifice opened by Chen Fan. How incredible! The operation of the main body technique can actually drive the operation of other techniques. The magical and powerful techniques amazed Chen Fan. Buzz. In the next moment, the radiance of the sea, following its path, directly escaped into the first orifice. Boom. The light has transformed into vast energy, nourishing and washing the orifices, making them constantly stronger and expanding. The energy of heaven and earth is directly pulled and absorbed by the mortal world. Among them, some of the power washed away Chen Fan's physical body and surged towards the next orifice. All the remaining energy is absorbed by the first orifice. Click. Finally, the 19th orifice of Chen Fan opened autonomously and successfully broke through to the 19th level of the mortal realm. One night, opened 3 acupoints consecutively. This speed is enough to shake the past and present. Boom. At the same time, the first orifice of Chen Fan also stopped moving, and a vast force surged within the orifice. Indeed, it's against the heavens. My physical body has more than doubled in blood and energy. Because, according to the realm of Haoyue Tiangong, my acupoints have already completed the blood-moving, body-refining, and bone-refining realms. Chen Fan opened his eyes and couldn't help but sigh. The whole body's blood flowed like a river. In singles, I am absolutely unbeatable in the same situation. Feeling the surging power in his body, Chen Fan was full of confidence. He felt that his current self, but with the power of the first orifice, could suppress the opponent on the 16th floor. Ding! The consciousness of immortal corpses remaining in the jade pendant has been detected. At this moment, the system's prompt sound came in time. Readers who are familiar with the author should know that the author's subject matter is definitely refreshing and can be collected with confidence, seeking the support of flowers and tickets. Feilu's novel, Fei Wants You to Look Good. Chapter 7. Fusion Immortal Corpse, Phoenix Clan Marriage Contract. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The consciousness of immortal corpses remaining. Chen Fan was surprised that this inheritance came from this immortal corpse. But when dripping blood to obtain inheritance, Chen Fan did not feel the existence of Immortal Corpse consciousness. The host still has one free fusion opportunity. May I ask if the host can merge Immortal Corpses and Jade Pendants? System inquiry. After fusion, can Immortal Corpses be resurrected? Chen Fan has some expectations. If he really had a fairy following him, wouldn't he be invincible in this world in an instant? Her consciousness is too severely damaged. After merging, it's impossible to bring her back to life. However, there is a certain probability that she can nourish more consciousness with her own consciousness of returning. In the future, even if the host does not repair it, under the baptism of time, she has a high probability of breaking free from the cocoon and being reborn. Moreover, if the host repairs it after fusion, it can save more points. The system introduces the benefits of fusion. Does a free integration opportunity only yield this benefit? However, saving a lot of points can also be compensated for. Chen Fan was somewhat entangled. Then, let's merge. After thinking for a long time, Chen Fan decided to follow the system's advice. No matter how much he understands the system, he can't compare to the system itself. Speaking, Chen Fan pressed the jade pendant in his hand onto the forehead of the Immortal Corpse. At the next moment, a burst of white light emanated from Chen Fan's palm, enveloping both the Immortal Corpse and the jade pendant. Slowly, the jade pendant stuck on the center of the Immortal Corpse's eyebrows melted directly, transforming into a colorful jade liquid that penetrated deep into the Immortal Corpse's eyebrows. As the jade liquid flowed, the skin of the Immortal Corpse looked crystal clear. After a long time, the jade liquid disappeared and completely merged into the Immortal Corpse. Chen Fan found that the forehead of the Immortal Corpse was no longer as cold as before. In a faint moment, the originally dull eyes seemed to have regained some divine radiance. This feeling is very strange. The Immortal Corpse was clearly with closed eyes, but Chen Fan felt as if he had seen her eyes, which were still commenting on him. Fusion successful. Chen Fan naturally understood why he felt this way. Chen Fan was slightly surprised, and he felt a breath on the Immortal Corpse. A vague and indescribable aura. This should be the aura of immortality. Although the Immortal Corpse has not yet come to life, after integrating her divine sense, she can also be considered in some kind of feigned death state. Just this Immortal Corpse, under the erosion of endless years, has lost all its vitality, immortal power, and energy, equivalent to petrification. Even if it integrates its remaining consciousness, it cannot do anything. Chen Fan was secretly analyzing. Thank you very much. In the darkness, Chen Fan heard an incredibly weak and ethereal voice. No need to thank you. Chen Fan regained his senses and knew that it was the consciousness of the Immortal Corpse that conveyed his gratitude. For a moment, a sense of pride rose in his heart. Treasure map. Taking out the animal skin from his arms, Chen Fan noticed that it seemed like a wordless heavenly book, with no pattern or text. But the more so, the more it proves the weight of this treasure map. It's definitely sealed. The simplest and most brutal way to unlock the seal is definitely to repair it. However, fixing definitely requires a lot of integration. Quickly, Chen Fan collected the treasure map. Anyway, even if the seal is unsealed now, he is not qualified to go treasure hunting. He doesn't have enough points, and even a few more glances won't show anything. Mainly because his realm is too low. Phoenix Bone Blade. Remove the short blade hanging from his waist, and Chen Fan pulled out a strand of hair and gently placed it against the blade. It's broken. When the hair touched the blade, it broke in two. Blowing hair and breaking hair. No, it's far above it. Chen Fan took out his own precision steel kitchen knife and lightly tapped the blade. With a loud bang, the kitchen knife broke directly. With its sharpness and hardness alone, it is already a peerless divine weapon. Besides, its ferocity has been completely sealed. Chen Fan sighed endlessly. Subsequently, he squeezed out a drop of blood and it landed on the phoenix bone blade. The phoenix bone blade does not show any face and has not absorbed it, which means it cannot recognize its owner. Is it because the seal hasn't been untied? Or was it because my blood was despised? Chen Fan was a bit self-deprecating, but he also knew that he was too weak now and did not have the qualifications to let this divine weapon recognize him, nor could he control the unsealed divine weapon. System, do you think this is an engagement token? Chen Fan asked with confirmation. Yes. This is the marriage contract with the Phoenix clan. If the Phoenix bones do not grow, the Phoenix clan will not marry. The host needs to grasp it well. The system explained with great emphasis. If the Phoenix bones do not grow, the Phoenix clan will not marry. Is this the engagement token with the Phoenix clan? I heard the meaning of the system. As long as I have the opportunity to go to that heaven and bring this character, I can directly marry back a Phoenix girl. Chen Fan couldn't help but daydream, but soon returned to reality. Everything ultimately needs to have strength. Without strength, this Phoenix bone is like harboring a grudge against him and easily causing trouble. Finally, he put away the Phoenix bone blade and looked out the window. It's already dawn. It's time to repair Medusa's injury. Chen Fan smiled. 7 updates, the data is a bit poor. The author is seeking a wave of support, isn't it excessive? The author hopes to get some motivation before dawn, even if there is a flower. Feilu's novel, Fei wants you to look good. Chapter 8. Binding Medusa. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, the sky is already bright. Chen Fan walked out of the living room, and coincidentally, Medusa also walked out of the room, more precisely, swimming out. In an instant, Chen Fan was attracted by that posture. Medusa was even more stunned. Because she found that Chen Fan's breath had changed. She was very certain that she sensed the aura of Chen Fan last night, and it was not very strong. However, overnight, Chen Fan surprisingly broke through, and it seems that his breakthrough was really significant. The pure physical body and blood gas have increased by at least twice. Moreover, she felt that there was a powerful force hidden within Chen Fan's body. Did you break through? Medusa asked in surprise. Yes. Chen Fan regained his senses and asked, how has the injury recovered? It's not that easy. It will take a long time. Medusa shook her head, still feeling a bit weak. Let me help you heal your injury. After thinking about it, Chen Fan volunteered to take the initiative. You. Medusa was obviously surprised and then said, it's not that I doubt you, but that we come from different worlds, and I feel like our ways of cultivation are different. So, I'm just responsible for helping you heal. Unable to restore your strength. Give it a try. Only when the injury is healed can you better recover your strength. This world is not as safe as imagined. Only by recovering your injuries and strength can you better explore. Knowing Medusa's aloofness and arrogance, Chen Fan spoke with reason and moved with emotion. What do I need to do? After hesitating for a moment, Medusa still followed Chen Fan's advice and tried to have Chen Fan heal her injuries. You don't need to do anything, you just need to sit and close your eyes. Chen Fan smiled and said. Okay. Seeing Chen Fan's confidence, Medusa became somewhat curious. So the purple long tail slowly coiled up and sat down naturally. It looks much higher than Chen Fan. Chen Fan was speechless, realizing how slender his legs had become after the long tail was transformed. Quickly, he restrained his thoughts and placed his palm on Medusa's back. System, repair Medusa's injury. Chen Fan silently reminded. Ding, deduct 1,000 points from the host, repair begins. Accompanied by the sound of system prompts, Chen Fan's palms sprayed white light, transforming into a warm current enveloping Medusa. For a moment, Medusa felt an immense warmth all over her body, surrounded by an indescribable sense of security. She felt like she had returned to the mother and fetus, as if her physical body had been reshaped. That feeling is difficult to describe with words. As time passed, she felt that all the injuries she had suffered while refining the strange fire had recovered, and the wounds and hidden illnesses she had suffered during her life of cultivation were also recovering. Even, she felt that her depleted potential was actually being restored. She has an extremely strong feeling that once she recovers her cultivation, she will directly break through to the next level. At the same time, she felt as if she had sensed Chen Fan's heart, as if she could sense everything about him. In her heart, she had an unprecedented impulse to fully understand this human youth, to know everything about him, including his future. Mentality is quietly undergoing changes. Medusa herself was unaware of this change. Ha! Chen Fan opened his eyes. The repair was over, and he reluctantly moved his palm away. How do you feel? Chen Fan asked. The state is unprecedentedly good. It seems that I have gained a new life and my potential is bursting. Medusa turned around, her peerless face adorned with a pair of narrow, pale purple eyes that gratefully gazed at the mortal world. Her eyes flowed, mesmerizing the heavens. Young master, thank you. Medusa spoke gratefully, and in her first address, she unconsciously let go of her posture. She felt that with this skill alone, Chen Fan would be worthy of the term young master, no matter where he went. She felt that Chen Fan's transcendent medical skills were respected and sought after by countless people wherever he went. Practitioners, stumbling and severely injured, are definitely indispensable. Chen Fan's medical skills can definitely attract a group of extremely strong followers. With fame and affection, as long as given a certain amount of time, Chen Fan can definitely achieve a universal response. The esteemed and aloof Medusa did not notice any subtle change in her mindset, and had an inexplicable admiration for Chen Fan. That's good. Next, you should restore your cultivation well. In the near future, you should be able to break through naturally and smoothly. Chen Fan smiled and said. After repairing Medusa's injury, she established some kind of connection with her. It is an intangible binding connection. Chen Fan can clearly feel her inner activities and changes. However, Medusa was unable to perceive this binding relationship. However, this binding is subtle and does not affect Medusa's own thoughts in the slightest. I'm hungry, I'll make some food. However, there isn't much sea cucumber or seafood. Chen Fan spoke and walked towards the kitchen. I'm not picky about food. Let me help too. Medusa smiled as she had always been taken care of in her daily life. However, upon hearing what Chen Fan had prepared for her this time, she felt a strange feeling in her heart. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward. Chapter 9. Opening of public garbage spaces. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them had breakfast, and the atmosphere was harmonious. The two come from different worlds and have countless collision topics. Although it is a new era, technology is still developing rapidly. After all, the convenience brought by technology cannot be compared to anything else. Especially in the online world, there is a lot of information being shared here. Under the guidance of Chen Fan, Medusa quickly mastered the operation of her phone. For a moment, she became infatuated with her phone and lazily lay on the sofa, greedily absorbing knowledge and various news from the world. I can't wait to understand this world. So. Did you pick me up from the garbage dump? Finally understanding the wonders of this world, Medusa naturally guessed where Chen Fan had saved her. For a moment, she looked at Chen Fan with an extremely strange expression. Actually, there's nothing wrong with this understanding. However, back then it was just you, there was no such thing as a garbage dump. Chen Fan explained with a smile. Didn't you see any unusual fire? Medusa asked. No. There's nothing except you. Chen Fan shook his head. Unfortunately. However, the abnormal fire has no effect on me anymore. For you, it may be a good treasure. Even if it is auctioned off, it can still be exchanged for a considerable amount of resources. Medusa felt regretful, as she had already begun to think independently for Chen Fan. Finding you is already a great chance. I dare not have excessive demands. Chen Fan also felt a bit regretful. Otherwise, he could try using a hole to absorb and refine strange flames, specifically refining various strange flames. In the future, he can also dominate the flames. However, he found that his words had made the queen's face slightly red. For a moment, the two fell into silence. Chen Fan opened his computer and wanted to read some news or headlines. Fight. Giant garbage dump opens, Eastern and Western powerhouses suffer together, and countries suffer heavy losses. Just logged into the special website, Chen Fan was instantly attracted by the front page title. I couldn't help but click in and was instantly attracted by the content. Yesterday, a huge garbage dump arrived, and the imprints of the strong from various countries were sensed and entered one after another. The garbage this time actually came from an abandoned mine in an advanced world. At the beginning, under the negotiation of several parties, the strong of each country divided the area. Originally, it was supposed to be a harmonious exploration of Taobao by each individual. As a result, I don't know who dug up the treasure, but suddenly lost control and the strong fought fiercely. All parties suffered heavy losses. Not bad, the result is good. The heavy treasure fell into the hands of the Qinxia Empire. I don't know what treasure has appeared either. Surprisingly, it caused the strong to fight fiercely. Chen Fan is a bit curious. The appearance of this mine is likely to cause the blue star to start expanding again. Chen Fan thought to himself. Every time a public garbage dump arrives, the mysterious power purifies it, and the blue star expands and expands. In 100 years, the volume of blue stars today is at least 5 times that of 100 years ago. Nowadays, various unmanned areas have emerged on blue star. In short, there is a mysterious power that is changing the blue star and the world. The garbage from the heavens has been refined into energy and integrated into the blue star, seemingly incubating it. Jianyu Auction House will hold an auction in Nanshur in 5 days' time. I saw another message, and Chen Fan was a bit eager to try. However, his heart quickly cooled down. There are indeed many good things at the auction. Anyway, he doesn't have much money. His parents in this lifetime, a few years ago, fell into a public garbage dump. The assets left for him are not many either. Bang! Suddenly, the imprint on Chen Fan's eyebrows sensed a violent vibration. No way. So frequent. Chen Fan was slightly surprised. No, this is the opening of a public garbage dump. My imprint was actually sensed. After sensing the information, Chen Fan was slightly surprised. You stay at home first, and I'll go out and do something. Chen Fan turned around and confessed to Medusa, touching the phoenix bone blade on his waist. This time, it's not just about Taobao, I guess we can't do without it. Be careful. After a slight thought, Medusa roughly guessed what Chen Fan was going to do, so she instructed. I will pay attention. If it's really dangerous, I can't give up. Chen Fan smiled and said, he knows how to make choices. Having a system, he doesn't need to take too much risk and can make appropriate choices. Anyway, his own garbage dump is enough to make him gradually stronger. Buzz. Contacting the imprint, Chen Fan's figure disappeared directly. Appearing again, already appearing in an incredibly unfamiliar place. Here, it is incredibly vast, at least for 100 miles, dim and slightly damp. It should be a public garbage space. At this moment, there are still falling dust or debris in the air. Chen Fan's attention is mainly focused on his surroundings. He found that there were many people besides him. Some people came earlier than him, while others rushed in one after another. However, when he saw that almost everyone was of the same age, Chen Fan breathed a sigh of relief. Since they are all peers, there is definitely a place for him here. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward.